It will surprise you how much the numbers have changed from last year to now. We'll also look at Deanna's community post about the silent supply squeeze, which no one has talked about yet, but we are. Let's start. David Schwartz said a long time ago that XRP could have a huge supply shock in the future. This means that as demand for the asset rises and supply drops as more people want it, the price of XRP will change dramatically. As usual, I'll give you all the facts and background. You can hit like or let me know in the comments what you think. Are we about to have a big supply shock? Janet, let's hear what this guy has to say. XRP quiet supply squeeze isn't being talked about yet. Diana, thanks a lot. We'll talk about it now. Judgy, the move Ripple was making was stopped by Torres, but that denial might be good in the long run. The line below shows that supply is going down and demand is going. I think this is happening everywhere, and many businesses are making their own XRP bank plans. As servers for safety, there are also some very big banks that use Ripple. We'll see how that changes things here in the coming years. Tokenizing financial assets on the XRP system, and we're talking about making more DeFi apps work on the XRP system. All of those things will need more XRP to work. She then asks, what just happened? We talked about what Judge Tao said, or we don't need to go over that again. That's partly true. I'll show you in a moment. But first, let's take a closer look at what this person is saying. His person is saying that institutions that want to hold large amounts of XRP must now buy from exchanges or over-the-counter markets instead of directly from Ripple. There will be no more deals with discounts. People will now buy based on the market. What about trust in Ripple? Even so, Ripple can still send out 1 billion XRP every month and sell it slowly on different markets through a program. This means that there will be no big dumps. Yes, when you sell through a clear drip feed, the supply stays the same, but it changes less and is more open. It's also ISO 2022. The big picture is that Fedwire and Swift will fully adopt ISO 2022 in July 2025. Ripple is already ISO compliant, so it will be easy to use as banks update. A lot of these payment systems don't naturally connect to crypto Ripple. To connect Web3 to Web2's infrastructure, you need companies like Ripple, Circle, and others that build blockchain infrastructure. It's also clear that they're improving all of these payment messages so that we can't have fast messaging and instant delivery. It says that if institutions like banks and payment lanes really use XRP for liquidity, Ripple won't be able to sell it directly to people. Instead, they'll go to the open market, which is where the real supply squeeze could happen. The timeline is short, and legal risks and slow adoption after July 2025, when ISO rails go live and the law may be clearer, are not likely to change this. There are huge tailwinds for XRPs, and it says to do your own research. Yes, Ripple can't sell directly because they don't have enough stock. When ISO lines go live, big buyers can only get them on the open market. Demand isn't a given, but the tools are getting ready for when the utilities start to come in. Okay, let's talk about ODAL volume, ISO connections, Ripplet corridors, the appeals process, and a lot more. Dark Horse says that Ripple can sell to institutions. They just need to be clear about it when they're in the US. As they said in court, most of ODAL's customers were sent to a different subsidiary business in a different country. ODC trades in the US are the only ones being looked at closely. Of course, I checked all of this out, because that's what you want to know if it's real and what it is. If banks don't follow all the rules set by a U.S. securities law judge, Annalisa Torres' recent ruling, Ripple won't be able to sell XRP to them directly. Unregistered sales to institutions are still going on. Ripple can't sell XRP to institutions unless it either registers those sales as securities offerings, which they won't do, or meets the legal requirements of U.S. securities law, which they might not be able to. We'll see in time, but I wanted to give you that background so you could better understand what's going on. I think Dark Horse is telling the truth when he says this. Some U.S. banks that want to take part may be able to do so outside of the U.S. and maybe figure out a way to move that XRP over. It will be interesting to see how everything fits together. I just ran supply squeeze through Perplexity to see if we miss anything. As we all know, a supply squeeze in crypto happens when a large portion of a token's circulating supply trades. This lack of supply can cause prices to rise sharply if there is high demand for XRP. This event is happening because of a number of factors, including trust and the rules set by the law, which we don't need to go over here. In the past few days, a lot of XRP has been taken out of major platforms like Binance and Bitstamp. We're going to talk about that in more detail in a video I made about it. 93 billion to 2 billion or more than 700 million was taken out. There was a big boom. So this could be it. As you may remember, we were getting a lot of hits at the beginning of the year. A lot of people were interested in what was going on with XRP. The months and years go by and people become less interested in what's going on. But I'm sure they'll pay attention again once XRP breaks above $3.00. It's very rare for multiple exchanges to drop at the same time. This shows that big investors or holders are putting money in all at once. Please keep in mind that if you buy 100 million XRP from an exchange, it's about $200 to $250 million. That's a few $100 million. If you're an institution or bank putting up crypto custody or crypto solutions with the goal of selling this crypto later on for maybe higher prices, that's also true. We'll see how that all goes. Then there's Trident Digital and these other businesses. There have been rumors that Trident Digital might not have all the money they need to do this. Other companies that say they'll spend hundreds of millions of dollars on XRP may not even have that much money. Let's not put too much stock in this. So far, 9 or 10 companies have raised about $1 billion. It looked like they wanted to use the money for XRP vaults or for paying in foreign currencies or across borders. It's about the CC case. There will be news about it, and I made a movie about it yesterday. But I wanted to show you some real information. This is a 5-minute clip from Edito, and he'll be on my live stream on Tuesday at 3:30 PST. Come over there. Looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to play this for a while.